says, if you're participating in anything, you have to have a notarized signature that your parents are gonna let you write, and you gotta fill out a form so that you could be in the rodeo. But anyway, as far as it goes, that arena was actually made for the kids, so they have some entertainment, something that they could do. Back at the time that I was putting rodeo, we brought 3 carnivals here. And the carnivals did good, they enjoyed it, they do repairs on it because they had more time to do things like that. But if we get together, we could have a good function. We could have an old time frontier function here for 2-3 days on a good rodeo. It's something that we would have to all talk as a community to bring something together, because everything's just falling apart. So we've got a highway here with trucks and everything. State Patrol was up here yesterday. Sheriff Department comes up here a lot now, which we didn't have none of that. But now they're catching speeders and everything. But we got people, we could slow people down, but nobody, we don't even have a gas station. You know, we could have economy here. So that's what we got to think of. And all this that I got here is stuff that I collected, found on the trails, and I know a lot of this country.
You're good.
Touch on a little bit of our history here in Gardner, Colorado. This was basically the borderlands between the Ute Indians in the mountains and the Plains Indians. At times, the Arkansas River was the Spanish border, the Mexican border. Settlers came into Werfenau County in the mid-1850s. You have Fort Tapia, which was Fort Talpa, which is Farisita. The building is still there. It has a full basement. It has bars on the window. It was a jail downstairs. That was one of the earliest Hispano settlements in this whole area. And that building is actually on the historic list in Colorado as the #1 most endangered historic building. You'll see the back walls are kind of standing up. It needs some quick work to get that fixed. I'm dedicated to trying to find those resources and make that happen. You had folks from northern New Mexico. Those were our first settlers that were coming in here. They came into Archuleta. They came into Maze Creek. They came into Turkey Creek. You had the Penitentes. That was Los Hermanos Penitentes, I think, don't quote me there. And that was basically like a lay association of Catholics. They built moradas. They were just low-key buildings where they did their prayers, they lit their candles, and they believed in penance. And some of that kind of overshadowed what they were. They were a Catholic service and mutual aid where they took care of each other. So that was some of the early, and that was when you had Greece and it was just too far for them to travel. They didn't have churches, so the people built them themselves. We've identified where 4 of them sit right now. I believe there's a couple more. I think there's actually a couple more than 6 or 7 in Werfenau County, which has always been the number. So is there anything else you'd like to share, Harold? And then we could pass the torch to whoever else would like to.
As far as the history goes,